My name is Dr. Sarah Chen, and I'm a pediatric cardiologist here at Children's Hospital. I've been practicing medicine for 15 years now, but today I received a letter that brought back memories I haven't thought about in a long time. It was from a family of a patient I treated 5 years ago. His name was Marcus. He was only 8 years old when he came to my office with his mother. They were both terrified. Marcus had been experiencing shortness of breath during play, and after several tests, we discovered he had a complex congenital heart defect. This wasn't something I could fix with medication alone. When I first reviewed Marcus's case, my heart sank. The initial prognosis was not encouraging. Several specialists believed that surgery might not even be possible given the complexity of his condition. I remember sitting in my office, looking at the X-rays and scans, feeling the weight of responsibility. Marcus's mother came to me with tears in her eyes, asking if her son would ever be able to play like other children again. That question haunted me. I knew I had to find another way. I couldn't accept that this bright, curious boy would be limited by his condition for the rest of his life. After consulting with colleagues from 3 different hospitals, we decided to attempt an experimental surgical technique. It was risky, there were no guarantees, and honestly, many people questioned whether we should try it. But I believed it was Marcus's best chance. I spent weeks preparing, coordinating with specialists, and going over every detail of the procedure. I also spent time talking with Marcus and his mother, explaining the risks, but also sharing my hope that this could work. They trusted me, and that trust made me even more determined to succeed. The night before surgery, I barely slept. The surgery lasted 8 hours. When we finally finished, I stepped out of the operating room, exhausted, but cautiously optimistic. The procedure had gone better than expected. In the weeks and months that followed, Marcus recovered remarkably well. Within a few months, he was playing soccer with his friends, riding his bike, doing all the normal things an 8-year-old should be able to do. His mother brought him back for follow-up appointments with the biggest smile on her face. Seeing Marcus thrive was one of the most rewarding experiences of my career. But it was more than just professional satisfaction. This case changed something inside me. That experience with Marcus taught me profound lessons about medicine and about life itself. I learned that sometimes you have to take calculated risks. Playing it safe isn't always the best option when lives are at stake. I also learned about resilience, both Marcus's incredible ability to bounce back and my own capacity to persevere through doubt and uncertainty. Every difficult case since then, I think about Marcus. When parents come to me with fear in their eyes, I remember his mother's tears and her trust in me. It reminds me that I'm not just treating a disease, I'm treating a whole family, a whole life, and a future full of possibilities. What touched me most today was the content of that letter. Marcus's mother wrote to tell me that he just turned 13 years old. He's healthy, he's active, he's doing well in school, and this made me smile. He wants to become a doctor himself. He wants to help other children the way I helped him. She also mentioned that Marcus plays on his school's soccer team and is one of the fastest players. Reading those words, I felt tears come to my eyes. This is why I became a doctor. This is why I take risks and push myself beyond what seems possible. It's for moments like these, when you see a child thrive and know you played a part in giving them that chance. Looking back, I realized that the most important thing I did for Marcus wasn't just the surgery itself. It was believing in hope when everything seemed hopeless. It was refusing to accept a limited future for him. Medicine is a science, yes, but it's also an art. It requires knowledge, skill, and experience, but it also requires compassion, courage, and faith in the human spirit's ability to heal. Marcus's case reminded me that every patient is unique, every situation is different, and sometimes the unconventional path is the right one. As I sit here with his letter in my hands, I'm grateful. Grateful for the opportunity to practice medicine, grateful for families who trust me, and grateful for a young man who survived and thrived. I keep that letter on my desk now, right next to a photo that Marcus's mother sent. It shows him in his soccer uniform, smiling wider than any smile I've ever seen. Every time I have a difficult case, every time I doubt myself, I look at that photo and remember, this is possible. Hope is possible, healing is possible. And that's what drives me to come back to this hospital every single day. Question 1. Why did Dr. Chen decide to use an experimental surgical technique for Marcus? A. Because it was the hospital's standard procedure. B. Because it offered the best chance of success, even though it was risky. C. Because Marcus's mother insisted on it. D. Because other doctors recommended it without any doubt. Question 2. Fill in the blanks. According to Dr. Chen, Marcus is now 8 years old and enjoys playing. Question 3. Short answer. How has the experience of treating Marcus affected Dr. Chen's approach to medicine? Please explain in 1 or 2 sentences. Question 4. What was Marcus's age when he was first diagnosed with his heart condition? A. 5 years old, B. 8 years old, C. 10 years old, D. 13 years old.